Hello, this is Christina. Welcome to the ISE 2026, to the BOE booth. Let me introduce you first to one of our unique displays. Here we have a curved chip-on-board display, very difficult to realize technology. Bending the board and the chips is quite an achievement. So at the moment, this one is in a research and development phase, and we are going to MP it, I think, around this year or even 2027.
It's ultra thin.
Yes, indeed, it is ultra thin. You need to have it ultra thin so you can bend it properly.
And you could potentially bend in all kinds of ways?
No, there is a limit. There is a limit with a radius of 600 millimeters. So there is a limit of concave and convex in both sides, but 600 millimeter radius at the moment.
Nice. And this is a high quality 1.25
one of
COB.
the highest qualities, absolutely.
What do we see here?
So let's not start with this one. Let's start with that one. Let's go one step up each time.
Okay.
So here you can see a marvelous chip-on-board display, LED with 1.25 pixel per inch. So, and this is basically the standard low-cost version. So
this is big.
yes, absolutely. Stats: 600 nits, 5,000 to 1 contrast, and Novastar controllers. Then let's do the direct comparison. If you get your camera here you have the high-end or the ultra display, a pixel pitch of 0.9 compared to this one with 1.25, up to 2,000 nits and 20,000 to 1 contrast ratio. So this is really amazing. This is a large step up from that one. And the controller is from Barco. And this is really special because compared to Novastar, where you can control 2 of the 27-inch compartments, you can control 6. Basically a whole vertical row, which is quite amazing and saves you quite a bit of cables and power. So quite nice. But the best product, of course, after 3 years, it reappears, is our chip-on-glass solution. Chip-on-glass, of course, for 0.9 is a bit too, I would say too low even, because chip-on-glass is made for lower pixel pitches. So 0.3 is about the limit you get with chip-on-board technology. But with chip-on-glass, you can get lower than that and have great quality. So this is
nice.
The highest end product you can have in the LED market.
Do you do any MIP developments?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So here we have the micropixel device development. So the parallel technology to chip on board. So here this is quite special. It's 0.6 pixel per inch, and please see the distance between those two sides. It's absolutely thin, of 2.4 centimeters.
Wow.
And achievable by this MPD technology.
Wow, MPD.
Yes.
So nobody else can do this?
At the moment, we think not. We have not seen it before. So, yeah. As I said, it's quite innovative and quite nice. It's not in MP yet. So, a prototype.
What's the magic LED?
So, I'm not sure if you can catch that. But if you see that on the left side and the right side, there is a split here. And basically on this side, the pixels are a bit distorted to lower the actual brightness of the display while maintaining the optical high brightness view. So basically the brightness is a lot lower, like 2,000 nits is what you have here. And here you have around 800 nits for real, but it still looks like 2,000 nits. So this is for eye protection.
So it's for eye protection,
yes.
But also power consumption.
Yes, of course, it's also for power consumption.
And how do you tune it? How do you tweak it so it looks so bright?
This is through basically, I cannot explain the technology in detail, but it's through pixel distortion. So the way how it's shown will be shown in the picture if you wait a minute, and you can see how the brightness actually spikes if you have it on full mode. And with the pixels a bit distorted, you can see how it stays much more even And if it stays even, it's much, much easier on your eyes and your brain, of course.
Nice. What's on this side here?
All right, so this one is also quite special. So if you see it from a bit of a distance, is it an LED or an LCD? That's the question, right?
Yeah, it's so sharp and bright.
Right, isn't it? So, but it's an LED. If you get closer, you can see the division lines, and you can also see the 0.9 pixels, absolutely.
It's hard to find the division lines.
Yeah.
It's hard to see them.
Absolutely hard to see, and that's the purpose of it, right? And also, it has a glossy film on it, which really makes it quite uniform and bright.
Which makes it look like an LCD or like a OLED, but it's just...
It's an LED. It's basically the same product as the product around the corner, our 0.9 Ultra.
All right.
With the 20,000 to 1 contrast and 2,000 nits maximum.
What do you show of all this area?
So this is basically a comparison of the different sizes. This is SMD technology, and you basically can see the same picture on all of these, and you can compare how the different sizes impact the picture quality.
So the dot pitch comparison, you can see the high resolution.
Exactly. And the really low pixel pitch, basically.
Right, what is there? It's showing a little bit what's going on inside.
Sure, absolutely.
Is that the board?
This is basically one of the LED panels themselves. So here you can see how they are working on the other side.
So each little area has a bunch of these little chips around to manage the power.
Yep.
All
chip
kinds of stuff.
On board. This is basically the definition of chip on board here.
Chip on board.
Chip on board.
And then you just place it there?
Yes, and you could easily exchange these kind of piles. It's with magnets.
Just magnetic?
Yeah, simple.
Well.
Then you have others, like this one. This is bendable.
Wow.
To a certain extent, of course.
That's the one you were showing?
That's the one I'm showing at the moment. Here. Also
Bendable.
quite low pixel pitch. And a few of the larger ones. So this is SMD technology. As you can see, there are no, I mean, of course, there are also chips on the board, but not like a chip on board product. Normal control system.
Oh, this is really fun to work with this, right?
It's interesting, though.
It's fun technology, right?
A lot. But it gets more complicated the more you go to chip on board and chip on glass. So these are much higher hurdles to get into the production. SMD is easy, but chip on board not. Very much not. So
this is 3D here. You're handing out glasses
absolutely.
to people.
And I tried it yesterday. It actually works to film through the glass.
And what is special about this? It's just super bright?
So this is the same as the one, as basically the so-called standard product we had at the outside of the booth. Special is, of course, that this is the 3D. So this, again, is not specifically bright. I mean, it's for an indoor application, of course, but it's for the 3D. The 3D is, of course, the special part of it. So it gets better and better. And at BOE, we always have the 3D as a little, plaything.
Nice. And here you have some. This is a big trend of.
No! Don't miss the best. Don't miss the best LED we have on the. Oh, we had this already.
Yeah, we got this already.
Okay, you got this out.
How about this one? There's a big trend in ISE to have interactive displays.
Yes.
And this is just a big LCD?
No, it's not. Actually, if you go from the front, you can see it's uniform, right? But if you go to the side, you see that your viewing angle actually makes the upper part quite dark, and the lower part is bright. This is for comparison to show that here we have a new polarizer and a new film on it, which makes the viewing angle a lot wider. So even if you stand at an angle like this, you can still see what's written there clearly. It's bright, it's clear, and it's nice.
Nice.
And here, I mean, yes, this is of course, let's say a normal whiteboard, but it always, if you have the local dimming feature, this time 288 zones, you always have the advantage that you essentially have a lot less power consumption. of course, depending on the content and on what you're doing with it. But this kind of technology is always very beneficial.
Local dimming.
Yes.
Lots of zones.
288.
All right. And if you continue on this place over here, I see a lot of ePaper at your booth.
Yes.
So what's going on with BOE with ePaper?
Well, as you know, everybody who does ePaper is working with e-ink, and we also developed, we got the technology, the marquee technology with them. What's special about it? So the Spectra 6 technology is a full color technology, which looks quite bright, yeah? This one looks a bit dimmer, however, the temperature that this one can sustain is minus 25 to 60 degrees, which is the big innovation in ePaper in this year. Because one of the key weaknesses of ePaper is, of course, that if you go down lower or upper your operating temperature, then it breaks. And you want to find a technology that avoids that, and ePaper is developing much further in that regard.
Nice. And there's more ePaper on this side over here?
Yes, that's the Spectra 6. At the moment you see it resetting, so it still has the reset time of several seconds, I think about 8 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds. It's resetting, but the color is vivid and bright. It's a thin design, it's working with battery, so no need to put it, yeah.
Nice,
Yes.
it's cool. And the smaller one there?
Yeah, 13.3, same technology.
Nice.
And next to it we have the transparent OLED.
Oh yeah, transparent
here.
OLED. And there's one last product that we didn't talk about, I think, is how about this?
So this product here is basically the same as the one outside, 1.25 pixel per inch, 600 nits, 5000 to 1 contrast. However, you have to come to the side with me and see how thin it is. It's a full product. It's basically a, let's say, huge TV, yeah? It's very thin. You could still disassemble it, and you have an integrated system. So you could also use it as a huge conference tool, or as a cinema, or, yeah, also for public showing, but it's not an outdoor product. This would be on this side. As it is now, this is a semi-outdoor application with 4000 nits, 1.9 ppi. And if you want to put it outside, you would have to build a casing around it. So still required to cool it down a bit, because it does emit a certain kind of heat after some point, especially if the sun shines on it, yeah. But the colors are quite bright, and it's chip-on-board technology. So it has the comparable power consumption compared to SMD technology, and the potential to go down much further with a pixel pitch.
So I did already a video about the digital signage.
Yeah,
There's just a couple more. What's happening?
Sure.
What's happening here?
All right. In Brazil, we have installed about 3,000 pieces of an 86-inch. And in this 86-inch, we have put this sensor cluster, basically. Here in the middle, you can see the motherboard, where everything comes back to. We can detect the current. We have the normal AD board, which you of course need in any and every panel. But the fan, which is needed in this outdoor application, is also controlled through this fan board and messaging back to the main board. We have the temperature sensors, the ambient light sensors, and the water logging sensor for rain, as well as the smart meter, the GPS, and the door sensor, which basically alerts you if somebody opens the cabinet. Here, of course, in a small application. But
Nice.
what's special about it, if you actually put impact on this board, it would also alert the system. So in case of vandalism, you immediately know if something happens.
Wow, that's cool. So much sensors happening also. And one last topic is
Sure.
behind on the here, because BOE is the best on earth, is the biggest screen manufacturer in the world, right?
That's
And you have to think about sustainability.
We do, of course. So I mean, here we have some numbers, but what I can tell you is we have 20 factories, yeah? And these 20 factories all have their own power plant on them, of course solar. So to a certain extent, the energy consumption that we have in those factories, we produce ourselves, which is something, of course, that we must do. And I mean, everybody can tell you about corporate social responsibility and green responsibility, but I have been there. I've been in the headquarters. I've been in the factory in Ordos. I've been in Chongqing in the factory, yeah? And several in Beijing. Albeit, they all look the same, yeah? They all have quite a high standard of food, of recreational possibilities for the workers. So, and I saw them going home. So we are doing our due diligence. It's important
to take this responsibility, right? BOE has to take this responsibility to find a way to make all these amazing devices more sustainably.
If we don't treat our nature and our people with respect, how are we going to do it, right?
Nice. So people can research this all on your website, what's happening with this.
Yes.
Also zero carbon factories, like you said.
Yep.
And all right.
Yeah, we are also doing, this is not shown on this show, but on the SID, we have products that are to 80% recycled. So that's quite nice. So that was interesting. They basically showed the different particles or chemicals or plastics that are used in the recycling, like in these measurement devices.
And when the screens work for many decades, that's a great thing. And if you can, for example, have a second-hand market where people can resell their TVs and stuff, that'd be also cool.
Yes, definitely.
To not put them in the trash.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you mean, but I mean, there is the issue of the backlight degradation. So after a certain amount of hours, 30,000, 15,000, 50,000 hours, at some point the backlight will not be able to get up to its standard anymore. So at some point it just doesn't work anymore at the LCD technology. Of course, it's
But then
different.
You try to recycle a bunch of stuff.
Yes, then we try to recycle, absolutely, with as many materials as possible. Some can be recycled, others unfortunately cannot be. But if we cannot recycle, then it will be responsibly disposed of course.
Imagine every pixel, every sound, enabled through HDMI technology. From the highest resolutions, the fastest refresh rates, to immersive multi-channel audio, HDMI technology powers a worldwide ecosystem of devices for movies, for gaming, for creators. Experience clarity, performance, connection. HDMI technology. Connect the future today.